Welcome everybody to episode 190 of the effing title. I am Big Husky.
And I'm DeNutte.
And we are back once again to talk about more random shit.
Yep.
Not really.
Probably cards.
I was gonna say not really random this week. This week was kind of a solid. We kind of knew what we were talking about for the last couple weeks. Now this week,
we actually we knew, which was funny because Lorcana came out this week, and I went to a Lorcana event.
Yep. So
and,
DeNutte went to a Lorcana event. I've been seeing Lorcana all over my TikTok, literally all over my TikTok.
What are people saying about it? I haven't gotten anything.
So a lot of the price stuff right now. But it's interesting though because I'm seeing two sides of it. I'm seeing the people that are price gouging it.
Yeah.
To be douchebags, and I'm seeing a lot of store owners just straight up like putting out videos being like, "This is what MSRP is. This is what we're putting it as."
The one I went to specifically, he was like, "This is what made me want to go to this event." He's like, "He's not price gouging, and he put limits on everything."
Yes.
So
there was apparently there was one shop that did the same thing. He was like, you can't buy any product unless you play in the free in-game tournament or something like that. And he said he had only 11 people show up after he said that. Like he said,
we had I think there's 30 where I was.
I was gonna say yours looked pretty packed.
I think people got turned away.
Oh, really?
And then I feel bad about it because I went with a buddy of mine and his partner, my girlfriend came, and my girlfriend's played some Magic. His girlfriend has not played any Magic, so it's like completely new for her. And then for Kat, they both didn't feel that comfortable playing in the tournament, so we kind of dropped out. I was like, "Is it fine if we do this?" And he's like, "You know what? It works out." I'm like, "Thanks, man. I appreciate it." So I mean, if anything, it made the tournament maybe go faster.
Probably.
But there were still, over 20 people, so it wasn't like...
Yeah.
Still
I mean, that's the thing as well. It's like brand new game, right?
Yeah.
And then you're doing you have the not the real pressure of it being like a tournament, but just like the pressure of as soon as you put the word tournament on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get it.
So I would have been fine with it. My buddy would have been fine with it because, he's the one I play Magic with. And then we kind of eked out the rules and everything right beforehand because I had watched a bunch of videos that day just to be ready for it.
To kind of see what it was.
Yeah, so, and it's good. I like it.
I was going to say, so the price gouging thing was one, and then there was the people being like, no, we're just doing MSRP. Fuck the people that are doing that. They're assholes. A couple of them actually had Ravensburg, or Ravensburger, I think it is. Basically, the company that is making the cards, basically like straight up commented on their videos being like, you guys are the real ones, like, watch out for something from us in the future, like that sort of thing. I'm sitting there like, that's fucking cool, first off.
All right, so where I was, there's 3 basic starter decks, right?
Yes, I saw that.
They came out with 3 for the first edition. It's blue, white, a red, green, and a yellow, purple.
I was gonna say, so there is colors.
There is colors.
It's just not like Magic. Because it's funny because everyone that I've been seeing is like they're just like trying to explain the game. It's funny because they're actually explaining it in Magic terms. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, so that's the closest that we're getting is like this is a Magic thing, like that sort of thing.
So in a way, it's like where in Magic where all the colors do like that color does a specific thing. Like
it's like its own unique thing, right?
Purple is very big early game. Ramping and collecting lore. So the whole point of this is not to kill people. It's to build lore. You need to build 20 lore,
which I thought was really cool.
Yep. So and you can't attack someone to take their lore away. There are cards that will take lore away. Like I have an Aladdin card. When I play him, all my opponents lose 1 lore, and you could play with. So you can play with, it's more than just one-on-one. So we played it like Commander. We did 4-person.
Okay.
So I played Aladdin at one point, and all 3 of them lost 1 lore. So that is a mechanic that is. So that's more of a red mechanic actually. So,
Okay, so what I was gonna say is I just brought up Lorcana, so I could actually have
Yeah.
a visual for it. So well, the colors are so there's amber, amethyst, sapphire, steel, emerald, and ruby. That's what they're going with. I like it. Okay, let me phrase. I like it other than steel because it's like they're all gems,
So when I
and then
said
there's
white,
steel.
it's steel.
Yeah,
That's what I meant when I
yeah.
yeah.
So, but it's. I like the fact though that they're keeping it basic with it being like what we just said. Colors each do things,
Well, I'm glad you
making them
said
their
steel
own
because I
thing.
actually didn't know what that color would be. So like this is steel. It's kind of like a gray,
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah, yeah.
So that yeah,
But like I said, I find it funny as well that they're all like gems, and
yeah,
then the
and
final one
steel,
is steel.
the colorless.
No, I mean I like that because I'm always it's like it's kind of the same thing. There is a color thing with Digimon. There technically is a color thing with Yu-Gi-Oh, but not really.
But not really,
Kind
because
of.
you can mix it all together. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Pokemon there is as well. So like off the bat immediately, they're kind of sticking to the basic right there.
Yeah.
I like the lore idea, and you and me have talked about this before. I
Uh-huh.
like the lore because there's no other card game that I can think of where it's like your objective is to gain this.
Yep.
Every objective is like you start with this and then you have to get to zero. And,
So it's funny in Villainous,
mm-hmm.
you play as one of the characters. You play as uh, Prince Henry.
Prince Henry.
Yeah, the bad guy in Robin Hood,
Oh, okay, yeah,
the animated Fox one. You
yes,
play as I cannot King John, maybe King John.
maybe. I'll look it up.
So you play as him, and your whole point is to build. You have to gain 20 currency, and when you gain 20 currency, you win. So like, it's kind of. I think they kind of took that mechanic and built off that.
Okay,
That's what it felt like.
let's see here. Prince John. Yep.
Yeah.
Prince John and King Richard. King Dick. But I do like that though. It's unique.
Yeah.
It like I said, it separates everything from it, and it
Yeah.
makes it like I said, I like the idea of you're gaining life instead of you're losing life, basically, or
So
you're gaining something instead of losing it.
so did you look into how to play it all?
Uh, yes and no. So that's one
So
of the
it's
things
in,
I wanted to go over next. So
okay. Oh, I'll go prices real quick, just so we can go back to that.
yeah. So
So
okay, so
starter deck's
how
20
is
bucks.
okay? So 20 there right now on TCG because this is the only place I can find them. They're not
Yeah.
they're not on Amazon. They're not on Walmart. They're not
Yeah.
anywhere else. The only place I've seen them so far is TCG, and TCG is price gouging the shit out of this.
What is it at?
35,
Woo!
and I saw it at 40 earlier.
Yeah, so they're
So
selling them 20 bucks. The place I went, 20 bucks, and inside each one is actually a booster.
I saw a video about that. That is actually really cool.
It's very good.
For being a brand new game, I like the idea of that because it
Yeah.
then allows you to have the feeling of opening packs. Because everyone here that is a card fan, we all have that weird obsession with like opening the pack and ripping it and seeing what we get.
It's like the only gambling I like.
Exactly. So it's
Um,
with a brand new game, you can kind of also. I like the idea of it because, like, for instance, let's say I pick the Sapphire and Steel deck, which is it looks like maybe Elsa and
which is the worst deck out of actually all of
really
them.
funny.
Yeah.
It's like Lion King and is that Elsa? No, it's not
Yes.
Elsa.
No, yeah.
That's Snow White. Snow White?
I can't remember what it is. I didn't get that deck. I got the Aladdin.
The Aladdin, Cruella Deville.
Yep, that's what I got.
Is that
And then the Moana Mickey
okay?
is the best one.
You know, yeah, I was gonna say screw it. Then let's just go there. So let's say I get that one, right? I get the Moana Mickey one, and then I get
Yeah.
the booster pack. I'm like, oh, cool, booster pack. You can open it. It allows two things to happen, and this is something that I've been thinking about since I saw the TikTok this morning at 2 a.m. By the way, so I saw it and I was like, first thing is it immediately allows you to either upgrade your deck immediately if you get
Yeah.
a cool card in it or a card that you want.
So now that you say that, the tournament, 30 bucks,
Yep.
right? You get a starter deck and then 2 boosters.
So,
And then
technically
you
you
get
get
three.
three. Wow.
3. And then you can build your deck however you want. Color doesn't matter for this tournament because it's a brand new game.
Okay.
So you could have put any card in your deck. You could have pulled anything out, put anything in.
That's kind of crazy, and I
You're
kind of
playing
love it
with
though.
whatever. So, but also, yeah. So it's like if you don't know much about it, then
Yeah.
but that was a cool mechanic they did.
So I like
And that if you think about that, $30 gets you a tournament, 3 boosters, and a starter deck.
that's great. That's perfect.
So like that would have been the time to get into it. And then
So like
boosters they were selling for 10.
boosters are selling for 10.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing online that MSRP is supposed to be 6. I think it was 6 or 5 for that. Which that price will go down as the time goes on. I genuinely believe that all the people that are price gouging this stuff, like eventually this stuff will start going down.
Like that guy's selling Lord of the Rings set boosters for 7.
Yeah.
So his prices are going to go down.
Yeah.
But I mean, places are selling them. My buddy went to another a store nearby, and it was 15.
Oh yeah, like there's still people that are selling. Like I saw one person recently around here that I actually still talk to, and he said that he went out and he was looking to just buy some Magic again, and he saw a collector boost for Lord of the Rings, then they were selling it for 65. And he asked the guy like, why is it 65? And he's like, oh, because you get the one ring.
You're like, they found it, dude.
Completely over the dude's freaking head. Completely over the dude's head that it was found.
It's weird to me that if you like are a store that sells cards, you just aren't in the loop.
Yeah.
You're like
I
owns it.
I'm sitting there like that's weird. That's weird.
So so I really liked it. So, but also, it was a random starter deck too for the tournament. You didn't get to pick which one you wanted.
Oh, you just got one.
So the guy he held a black bag up, and he's like, "Reach in, don't look." So you reach in, you grab.
That's kind of cool, though. I mean,
yeah, it makes it fair.
Yeah.
My girlfriend got my girlfriend won the match, the 4-person match.
Let's go, Cat.
Let's go, Cat.
There we go.
Yep. Cat killed it. Crushed us too.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah, crushed us. And so she had the Moana deck. I had the Aladdin deck, and then none of us had the Elsa deck. Or the
I think it's
the Simba
White.
deck.
I was gonna say I think it's Snow White.
The Simba, the one with Simba on it.
Yeah, the one with Simba.
So none of us had that one.
Interesting.
So looking through, there's not a ton of cards in this series, right? There's 200 cards.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing
there's
here,
204.
I got results 221 on
221
on this, but that also could be alternate art. It could be.
I think that's the ultimate art.
It could be the rare. All those different things.
Yeah, I looked at TCG; those are going for like 200 plus.
Someone bought a deck, and one of the packs they pulled out of it had the Elsa Spirit of the Winter alternate art. That's $400. So he's like, I paid $20, and I just got a $400 card in the extra booster pack that came in this. And I'm sitting there like, that's awesome.
Cash.
Yeah. Okay, let me hit on that one real quick. Last thing real quick. The other thing I like about getting a boost pack in this, with it being a brand new product, is, as you and me both know, buying starter decks, you never know what you're really going to get. Right?
Never.
Just because it's the worst on paper doesn't mean it's not the one that you like the most. So being able to get a booster pack also, I feel like, is a nice thing, because like, let's say you do get the Mickey one and you don't like that deck, but then suddenly you pull a card and it's like, oh shit, I got Hades.
Oh, my buddy was pissed that I got a Smother and Teeth.
Oh, really? Got another Smother?
Sample booster. He's like, you got another good card in your sample pack? And I'm like,
hey, that.
I also, side note, I'm going to sell my One Ring. I decided.
Yes, you have?
I'm going to.
Interesting. How much?
So, I think I'm going to list it for 1,000.
Okay, I'm out. I'm out. Hold up.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do it. I've been like on the fence about it. I'm like, dude, it's either going to go up or it's going to go down, and I think I'm in the sweet spot right now. So.
Yeah, no, right now, yeah, I think. Okay, so do you know how much he was selling, like the gift box, and then it's cool.
The gift box, 60.
Okay, so the gift box is 67 on here. So I think that's what I've seen. But now, how much was he selling the bundle? I'm gonna call it
80.
80.
It starts with a T. What they're calling it, Trove.
Yes. Illumineer's Trove.
It was 80.
80. Okay.
Which, when you think about it, it's 8
Yeah.
boosters, so $10 each, and then it has like It had like
Oh,
two deck
yeah,
boxes or something in it.
it's the same thing as an ETB from Pokemon. It's the same thing as a bundle from Magic. Um,
Yeah.
the MSRP for the guy that I saw on TikTok was 50, and it was 200 on TCG Player. It is now 146.
Okay. I mean, still, so 80 is a lot cheaper than that.
Yes, 80 is still yes. So, like I said, I think that it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the prices on TCG Player.
The issue, the guy was telling me that, so he was like, I don't want to sell them for a lot. He's like, I have to sell them because like they want this MSRP, but they're charging us so much to get them
Oh yeah, I can only
that
imagine.
like we don't get anything if we charge it for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
So,
and that's one of those things. I mean, like, tell me that's not a very Disney thing to do, right?
oh, so Disney.
Um,
Like so, and you know what? Even while we were playing, people were coming in buying cards.
that's
Like not
awesome.
even there for the tournament. They were just there to go get cards. And then like, actually something I saw that I really liked. This guy came in with his wife, and he's like, I want to get into Magic because I'm fucking ADHD. I'm paying attention. I'm like,
Yeah, you're
just like,
just all over the place. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm paying attention to this interaction. He's like wanted to get into Magic. He's like didn't know anything about it, and the guy just had like, they have like these cheap little plastic covered decks that are like
Mm-hmm.
they give to like card shops. He just like, hey, he's like, here's a deck, just take it, and if you like it, come back in.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
He was like, take the
Here,
deck, like,
have the
he's
thing.
like, I'm kind of busy right now, but like, here's this, like, if you want to come back, and
So
you can play.
one of the things that I will say that I do remember a lot that they
Shield
used to
Comics,
do.
that's where I went. Laconia, New Hampshire. Shout out.
Boom. One of the things they used to do a lot was they used to just do strip starter decks
Yeah.
with so because of course with you being a newer player to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to do starter decks. So
With like, they did like Pioneer.
no, so
They
this
had like
was
every.
no, so this was literally it was like every single set would come with one like kind of like every single set now has a commander decks. They never used to be commander decks; it used to just be starter decks. So
Yeah.
you get like 4 or 5 starter decks, all 60 cards, all just kind of that. Each one of them around a different theme of the set, and that's it. That was it. Boom, done. You get like 1 or 2 rares in it. No special things, no
Well,
nothing.
they still kind of do that because like the Lord of the Rings, those are 2 starter decks.
That was a starter kit. That was like a special.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
kit. Yeah.
yeah. These were literal like in a little pack in a little thing. Like here's a starter deck. Like boom,
Yeah.
60 cards. You just
They still do that with some, like I always see like Pioneer ones, but like they still have some of those if you go to like places that haven't sold them yet.
oh yeah, probably. I
Yeah.
think that I know for facts. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Shit. What is the name of it? Jumpstart.
Yeah.
Jumpstart does a lot of shit like that as well.
Yeah.
Where they're like
There's
it's just
there's
like
that 5-person jumpstart kit. Which
But-
actually there's a card in that you could only get in that, so people like that card's actually worth like $40 online.
people are actually like losing
funny.
their shit. Okay,
Yeah.
so back to Lorcana.
Yep.
Okay, so you said, "Do I understand how to play?" Which I kind of
Want me to
don't,
do a
but
breakdown
But
of
that's so.
like how you start?
So that's the
Go
thing I was going to
breakdown.
do. So what I'm going to do is this: I'm going to bring this all the way over here. Right, I got a nice little grouping
you know what
of
I can do?
cards.
You could do top down.
Oh, you want to do top down? Okay, that works.
I'll do top down. Give me a sec.
Because like I said, I saw some things, and as I'm watching the videos, I'm like, okay, or as I'm watching the TikToks, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. But then I'd watch like 2, and then the very next couple would change what was just said. I'm like,
Is there any
that's
way you can flip my screen?
that is a great question. We're gonna find
Because
out
I know
right
you
here.
can flip it horizontally.
Let's see here. Why do I here transform?
Oh, flip
rotate.
vertical.
Here. Transform. Flip again. Boom.
Okay. So
I should have just done 180. I don't know why I did 90 twice, but
all right. You hear me?
yes.
Oh, I turned you down. 1 sec. You say something?
Huh?
Okay, cool. All right. All right. So we have. So if I do that, so you can kind of see that.
Yep.
All right, cool. So all right. So we're on. So you
So
shuffle,
it's
shuffle.
40 card deck, correct?
60 card deck, minimum of 60. So you get. I don't
Okay.
know if there's a max, but there's a minimum of 60.
I thought I heard 40. So okay, 60. Okay.
Yeah. So you get a 60 card deck with the starter kit.
Okay.
So start off with 7 cards in your hand.
Okay. So 7, kind of a normal breakdown.
Normal breakdown.
Yep.
So we have our 7. Um, okay. So we have different mana values, right?
You have the mana
I actually
values are in the top corner.
don't know what that is called in this.
I think it's
drawing a blank.
ink.
Nope, it's different. Ink value, maybe?
I think it might
Anyways.
be an ink value or something like that.
All right, so to get ink, right? So we have, see up the top corner, we have like a 3.
Yep.
And then we have a 2. But 1 has like the shrivel around it,
Yep.
like the design around it. Those cards are the cards you can use as ink. You can't use.
Oh, okay. So
You
that's
can't use like these as ink.
okay.
Right?
So that's interesting because when I was watching the video, that's one of the big things that I was confused about. The guy in the video was like, he's like, the thing I like is that it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh where there's a star value. It's not like Magic where there's a land management. He's like, in this you can just play stuff and everything is ink. He goes, other than things that aren't ink. And then he just kept moving on with his conversation with his talking point. He didn't stop to explain. So there's a certain, so if it has the circle
Yep.
around it.
And actually, I'll show you how mulligans work right now too, because this will help. So I don't want this card. It's a 5 value. I don't want to deal with it. I don't need 2 Rapunzels, so I'm going to dip out on Rapunzel.
So is it a specific?
Yep. So
Okay.
I'll leave that. I'll do 2. So I draw 2. Okay, I got another Pongo like Pongo. So now I would go bottom and I'd shuffle again. And you just get the 1. So you could do as many cards as you want. You could do all 7 if you really wanted. But it is all about ink management, right?
Yes.
So you have quick shuffle. Oh, doesn't matter. All right. So I have.
I'm gonna do this real quick. So I'm just gonna have this right there. No, it's upside down, but still.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all right. So my only 1 drop is a item, so I'm not going to use that.
Okay.
So I say I go first. I don't draw like normal. So because I have, I'm actually going to drop down. No, I can't. I'm going to. So this is a decent card. See, this is where I'm like, oh, damn it.
Oh no.
So I'm actually going to use this as ink. Shield of Virtue has 1. Also, you show the other person to show that it is usable as ink, right? So you show them. So it's a 1.
Yep.
But now that's 1 ink. Doesn't matter that it was 1. Even if I had used this 5 drop,
It's still just 1 ink.
Just 1 ink.
So for instance, the Elsa card that everyone's seeing on the screen that I've put up that is a 3 doesn't matter. It would be 1 ink.
It would just be 1 ink, and so that is an ink for the rest of the game. Cannot be uninked.
Right? Oh, okay. Even more interesting then.
Yeah. So my turn's over. I pass it on. They do their turn. All right. Draw for turn.
So now before your turn, real quick, how many of each card are you allowed? Is there a limit or
4?
4. Okay. So same as Magic.
It's but it also there's multiples of some cards. So like, all right. So say I just picked up an Aladdin, right?
Yes.
This is a green Aladdin. It's Aladdin Prince Ali. There's a Aladdin Street Urchin.
Mm-hmm.
That's another card, but those don't count as the same Aladdin.
Okay, so it's the same thing as like having a Kamal the Pit Fighter and Kamal Fist of Crozier.
So you have Mad Hatter right here.
Yep.
And then you have Gracious Host right below it.
Yes.
So that is their indicator of who they are, more so than Mad Hatter.
Okay, so that is the full like that. It's almost like the full name. The full name is Mad Hatter, Gracious Host. And if you have Mad Hatter, I'm just mad.
Yeah. So all right. So that was an ink. I'm actually going to play. All right. So if I'm going to use this card as ink, but also I'm going to read you what it does.
Okay.
If I wasn't going to use them as an ink.
So that
So we have
is
Lifu,
Levo.
Instigator. Yep. So fan the flames. When you play this character, ready chosen character, they can't quest for the rest of the turn.
Okay. And quest.
This is actually a legendary card. I actually would keep that card. I would actually play that. I would. So I'm actually going to ink Aladdin here, right?
Okay,
So he's
we're
a
gonna ink
2-drop.
Aladdin. Yep.
Ward. Opponents can't choose this character except a challenge. So if you had an item card, there's one card called Cannons. Shoot the cannons or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll do 2 damage to him. He would die. Right.
Yes.
So he's now inked. I'm going to tap these for ink. Right.
Yep.
I can't remember the word that means that. So I'm actually going to play Lifu there.
Is it maybe exert?
Yeah, something like it might be exert, right? So
The only reason I'm saying is because on the Elsa card it shows a card with like a little turn dial on it, and it says
Yeah.
exert shows an opposing creature. Like that's the only reason I said it. 'Cause it's like
that might be it. The
Okay,
turn,
so-
all new terms. So, all right, they might have not been the best one to play right now, but he's what I could get on the field right now.
Yes.
Get him on the field. So now he's on the field. He has summoning sickness,
Yep.
aka his ink is still drying.
Yes.
So that's what that's known as.
Oh,
so he's
okay. His ink is
he's
still
not-
drying. I kind of
still drying.
See, I kind of like the fact that not only are they doing it so it's like the terms are familiar enough to people who have played card games, especially like tabletop card games, but that they've also put like their own. They put the Disney spin on it because, like, like you said, like there, the ink is still drying. It's like that's cool because you think of Disney.
Oh, that makes sense, and that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like that's really cool.
So, all right. So then, other person, my turn's over.
Yep.
The other person takes his turn. Let's just say they have. Let's get like card out. Just for shits and gigs. Let's get a Captain Hook on the field just to
All
be
right.
against.
Captain Hook.
Captain Hook's against. He's a 1/2. He's still drying now too.
Is there my captain still drying?
Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll have him quest because he was a 1-drop. He got out there right away.
Okay.
Right. So he's now questing.
So now I'm questing. So I get how much lore for him?
You get 1 lore for him.
Boom, 1 lore. So I'm up to 1.
And then while challenging, this character gets +2 attack.
Okay, so
He's a 1/2.
So I was gonna say so instead of attacking, it's called challenging, right?
Challenging. So because he's questing, he can't challenge.
Okay.
When you're questing is the only time you can be challenged.
Okay.
So like when his turn's over, he's still going to be tapped because he's questing. I could attack him right away,
Okay.
which actually might be the move because when he attacks, he gets +2, so he'll be actually a 3/2 if he attacks one of my questing guys.
Okay.
So that's what that is. So he passes his turn, my turn, draw for 1. I got a 3-drop, a Jasper.
I do like the back of the cards. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yeah, I do like that. It's very cool looking. So untap. So all right. So this will be a thing. All right, I'll show this off. So I'm going to.
So as of right now, I have Captain Hook out on the field. I
Captain Hook on the
have quested. I have 1 lore, and that's it. That's what
That's it.
That's what I've done.
Correct. So I'm actually going to drop down Mad Hatter is a 5, but I'm going to drop him down as a lore.
Okay.
Right.
So now you're up to
So-
so now you're up to 3 ink.
I have 3 ink.
Yep.
Not lore. Ink. So tap those. I'm going to get Jasper out on the field, right?
All right. So Jasper's out.
And he has he's a 2/4 puppy napping. Whenever this creature quests, chosen opponent's character cannot quest during the next turn.
Oh, okay. So you can
So-
just straight up deny me from questing with him.
Yep.
But so wait, so it's only when he quests though, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So
That's kind of strong.
yeah. So now I'm actually because you're questing, right?
Yep, I'm questing.
As Captain Hook, I'm going to attack you with Lifu. 2/2 against a 1/2.
So boom, I'm out. I
He's
lose
out.
the captain. Now, do I lose the lore because I just lost while questing?
Nope, you still keep that lore.
Okay, so as soon as you quest, you have the lore.
Yeah, and then but now this guy
Has a minus. He has a -1 token on him, right?
but he has a -1, and he stays like that.
I kind of like that, but at the same time, I kind of don't.
You can get rid of it. There's,
Okay.
I forget how there are item cards that will make him restore him, but then you can also use ink to restore him. I'm not sure
Oh,
the cost of
interesting.
that. So
Okay.
like, I think I could use one ink to restore his one health.
Interesting.
Like, so he is now spent. He's tapped, but he's not questing.
Okay. So you still
Um,
so you're either going to tap for like an ability,
yeah,
questing, or challenging.
or healing, or singing.
Okay.
There are abilities. Yep, there's a lot. So, so he's tapped now. But say you had another character out there that was untapped going into your turn, so you're untapped. You
Yes.
could actually attack him now because he's more or less questing. He's in that in
So
that
so so if you so as soon as you basically as soon as you, we're just gonna say taps. As soon as we tap a creature,
yeah.
right?
So say you have all right. You have Simba out there, right?
Symbol. Yes.
Say you have Simba out there. He's a 5-drop, and I am now a 2/1. When your turn starts, you could just actually take him out because he's exerted.
Now, do I
If
have
he's
to?
exerted, he can be challenged.
Do I have to? Is there like a stage for that, or can I just do it at any time?
In your turn, in your whenever your main phase, anytime in your main phase.
Okay.
So same thing. You can only do one ink per turn in your main phase. It's just it's magic.
Yeah.
So all right. So it's basically that, and then so like all right, my turn's over. Your turn goes. You got Simba out in the field. You're gonna attack my dude. Um, so now he's dead. He's discarded. You are now tapped, but you are now at a 3/3.
Yep.
So I have little things somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the
There's a little like minus counter things, right?
yeah. So that's the only thing that's going to be hard with this. Is because when we always put trackers on things, it's always to make it bigger. These are to make them smaller. So that's that. He's tapped. He's exerted. This guy's his ink is dry. He's ready to go. New card. Peter Pan. Never landing. Never lost. All right. So all right. This is actually I'll show. This is a good one to show you. So I'm going to use Pongo as an ink.
Okay.
I got 4. I'm going to get Pongo out there. Pongo, as well as Peter Pan, have a skill called Evasive. Only characters with Evasive can challenge this character.
Okay. So basically,
It's flying.
yeah, it's like it's flying. It's like shroud.
Yeah,
I think horsemanship's another one. Like one of those abilities where it's like you can only attack. You can only attack and block with this creature if you have something of the same thing.
yeah.
Okay.
But there's no reach. It's only Evasive. So it's only anyone with Evasive. So like,
Yes.
um, so I mean we could pretty much end it there. Peter Pan also has Evasive.
Mm-hmm.
Like this Rapunzel character. When you play that character, each opponent loses 1 lore.
Okay. I mean, it seems very intuitive isn't the word that I want to use. It seems very,
No,
especially like after playing like we've both played Magic, we've both played other
yeah,
card games. It seems very similar to everything else that we've played, with
yeah.
it having its own unique twist, which makes it more, which I want to say it makes it more intriguing.
So if you think about it, if you know what your max lore value is in a deck,
Mm-hmm.
you can also like say like I'm at 4 right now. I think this deck has the highest is it's at 6 or 7. I think it's 6. So like realistically, I don't need more than 6 ink because right now I'm only down to 3 cards in my hand, right? And I still have to get more lore out in the field. So like my next card is Aladdin. Aladdin's a 7. So he may pay. I don't know what that is actually. Shift 5. You may pay 5. Play on top. Oh, so if I had another Aladdin on the field, it would be it would evoke.
Okay.
It's basically this is evoke. So, if I have another Aladdin on the field, so it's just you got. It's also knowing your mana values. It's so you don't need. It's like it's not like an infinite amount of mana because you want to build but also get stuff out. I don't know. I think it's very interesting. I like it.
It definitely
See,
the mana aspect of it. I'm gonna say the mana,
yeah,
but the ink aspect of it
yeah,
definitely changes the game to an extent because
yes,
it allows you you said it's a 60 card deck. You get to make a legit 60 card deck. Like you
yep,
don't need 20 spots for land or 24, however many people do for standard. I normally do like
exactly.
22 to 24.
So
Um,
the big, so that the deck that I said was the worst deck.
mhm.
That's that one they say it hurts for mana for ink. That's the reason why it's not very favorable
Interesting.
because you have a lot of cards. You have a lot of non-inkable cards and you have a lot of high value cards. So like it's good late game, but early game it's very hard to get ahead.
Okay.
Get this back up.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, it definitely seems like a cool game. One of the things I wanted to show real quick to the peeps because I want to show these guys what because we love the different showcase stuff and we love all that. This is the look of the showcase for I'm just using Elsa as the main example right now for all this, but like that's a cool looking
That
card.
card's sick.
So,
So I'm a big Lilo and Stitch guy.
yeah.
Like I love
As soon as I saw
like
the Stitch was in it, dude, I'm sitting there like
I got
it's like am I about to start? Am I gonna have to buy some Lorcana stuff now?
so I
Like,
have like a Taka from Moana. I actually have one of the foils Takas.
oh, okay.
That's a pretty cool card. Um, Let me find.
I was gonna say there is a if I remember correctly from what I keep pressing the same freaking buttons instead of I keep pressing cards and then I go here and then I keep pressing cards again and getting rid of the cards. Carefree Surfer is the Stitch alt art
Oh yes, very cool. I did see that.
right here. Look at that one.
It made me laugh because I got two of these as my foils and packs. I got two of the chickens
Two of the chickens.
from, from Moana.
That's funny.
Yeah, so those are just one drops. You get two of those in the Moana deck actually, but not foil. So
So it looks like all as soon as you get into these alt arts, they're 110 plus.
there is Emperor's New Groove cards. Like here, I have a Kronk right here.
Kronk.
I know from what I keep hearing, Cusco is a fucking fire card. I got a Maui.
Now, yeah, I'm seeing.
That's an 8 drop.
Uh,
That Maui, but there's a 5 drop Maui that's supposed to be that is like I think that is like the best card you can get right now
Aurora was the other one. That's the Aurora.
from Frozen. Yes. So I think I don't. I think it's funny. You know, we're two men in our 30s just here talking about Disney cards.
Well, that's the thing is that I saw, and I think this is also going to be. I don't want to say it's going to be a problem because I don't think it will be, right? However, this is going to be a game that will be loved by everyone. If it does well, which
Yeah.
we're assuming that it will. I don't think it's gonna. I don't. There's people that are like, it's gonna take over Pokemon. It's gonna take over Magic. It's gonna completely dominate the. No, I think this is gonna have its own spot in the TCG world. I think that it being a mix of everything helps the cards themselves. But it's gonna be something that like little girls and boys are gonna want to play. Teenagers are
There are a
gonna
lot
want
of
to
kids
play.
there. There are like 4 or 5 kids there.
Yeah, this thing like. Just across the board, people are going to want to play this. If you're into cards, if you like card games and you like this sort of stuff, you're going to play this game. So it's like there was something that was like they were saying it's like imagine going to a tournament and seeing like a 45-year-old guy balding, fat, sweaty, just like I'm sitting there like it's like yeah, but that's no different than every other card game right now.
No, it's funny because right next to us there was like a 35-year-old guy and then like a 14-year-old kid.
Yeah,
And the guy like was just like trying his hardest to like relate, but like
had no.
like be real, and then like the guy crushed the kid, but it was like he was just trying to be like like just very cool with the kid, like.
Yeah,
The kid was just there to like have a good time.
Well, that's the thing is like it's like you get like they're like you have this girl that's finally starting. It's like she's gonna have her first deck and it's made of all of her favorite princesses. And then there's this just giant manly dude that's like, yeah, I just made the most meta deck ever. Like, It's like how is this going to help that generation grow? It's like simple. You
Yeah.
learn and adapt, baby. Learn and adapt.
So it just feels very limited on what's available right now because I mean, you look at Magic. Magic has like 30,000 cards.
That's the
So
thing.
and this
Is
has
like
204 cards.
it's
'Cause there might be what 211, but like those cards are like
that's yeah.
just
I
the
like I
same
said,
cards with alternate art.
I have 221, and I think that might include promos on here too.
Yeah. So they had promos. They had Disney Gen Con cards.
They have the puzzle inserts as part of the cards in here too, which also I will
Oh
say
yeah.
those are kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah. So I think is
This is my question with this.
yeah.
Or my not a question. This is my concern, I guess, with this. How far can we go with this?
That's what I mean. I'm like it feels limited where like as of right now you're like I have a bunch of cards. I have like almost probably almost half of the cards, right?
Yeah.
Say. And I'm like, "All right, what do I do now?" Or like where does this so they're coming out where it is they're coming out with the second edition in 3 months. I think that when you think about it, you Magic, how often does a new set come out?
I mean,
2 3 months?
fair. The reason more for that look was just the fact of it being a brand new card game. There's already issues with the whole pricing thing across the board. It seems like with people either being overly pricey with or underly priced or just being fair.
Yeah.
We don't even know how this is going to take off, really. But of course, with it being Disney and them having that sort of
Disney.
money, they can
Yeah.
literally do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah. Because I feel like if they wait too long, I think it's going to die. So you do need to do that. Because like look at like
Well, it's like I'm not gonna lie. When you said Pongo, I'm sitting there like I have no idea what the hell Pongo is. The only reason why I could figure it out is because I'm looking at the card and I'm like, is that a dog? And I'm like,
it's the dad from 101 Dalmatians.
You know, like so that's my like.
Yeah. So Disney. I mean, my
Okay.
girlfriend's a Disney
Hold on a
adult,
second.
so she
So
fucking
August, September, October, November, December. Huh. Weird that they would want to get another set out right before Christmas. Weird.
smart.
Very smart, but like I said, my thing is that it's just like I don't know, and this is just me being me thinking about this, playing both sides of it. How many different versions of Hercules are we gonna get before you're sitting there going, I
My
don't.
thing is like, what are you gonna start dipping into? And I was thinking, what if they dipped into like Kingdom Hearts? What if they dipped into a bunch of different things? Like they have Disney's such like a huge universe where they could ultimately get like where they could have Toy Story, they could have any of the Pixar, where they could have Incredibles, they could do. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, where do we go from here? Because they're not going to create or for this, you know.
I mean, like it's one of those things. Like are they because I've seen like 4 or 5 different Simba cards now. I feel like I know I've seen at least two. I know I've seen at least 2 or 3 Aladdins. Tell you that much.
Yeah.
It's like what you just said though. It's like, do they go with the Pixar stuff? Do they go with? I mean, Mickey Mouse Steamboat Pilot. Do they go old school and they go?
There's a Steamboat Mickey.
Yeah, I've seen it right here. Like, do they go old school with that sort of stuff? Do they branch out because this is Lorcana and Lorcana technically, right? If we're gonna go technicalities, technically Lorcana is Disney. Are we gonna go with? Okay, so this just says assemble your team of Disney characters. So if we're talking about just Disney characters, Disney owns a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, are they sticking with just old school Disney, like old school Disney animation? Or are they because like there's a ton of stuff from Aladdin? Because I mean, just looking right here, right now, like Archimedes from not Aladdin, I mean Robin Hood, from that's from Robin Hood. We have Merlin from Robin Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Gaston, I fuck like Gaston.
There's a bunch, dude. I'm gonna say this right now. There's a bunch of stuff on here where it's like, because I'm on the Lorcana website now.
Yeah,
Like,
I did get like it's funny, this Tinkerbell card's like a $15 card. So that the weird thing is that like you go on there, a lot of the cards aren't worth like anything. You know, like most of the cards are worth just like cents. And then there's some cards that like this Tinkerbell's like 15, like this Maui's worth like 2.
Yeah, the pricing seems actually like solid pricing for a card game right now.
Yeah.
There's a couple of the big ones. There's the alternate art rares that are gonna go for the dummy money.
Yeah.
Then there's the regular version of them, which is the next highest price. Then there's kind of the meta cards, which are in the the $15 to $5 range, and then everything is underneath, and it kind of feels right, One of the things
Did you leave? Oh, sorry.
I wanted to look at that's not what I wanted to look at. I wrote Disney properties, and it came up with a random street in Salisbury, Maryland. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. How did you know?
I wonder what card that will be.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, like you said. So, like, for instance, just right here, stream Disney Plus just says stream Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Nat Geo. So, like,
Star Wars would be cool.
well, that's
I didn't even
what
think
I'm
about Star
saying,
Wars.
right? It's like, so are we eventually going to see Star Wars in this? But then how are we going to make that fit within the whole thing? Pixar I could see fitting. I could see them doing a whole Pixar thing. Star Wars I don't. Marvel, I see they could, if they do like the actual like comic characters. I could potentially see that as being a weird shoot thing. But then we have you already have the Marvel card game.
Yeah. So I don't know.
That's my
how do they license that?
So like I said, that's my concern with Lorcana. Is I don't know if it's gonna have enough juice to be able to do stuff, because like I said, I mean we've seen it in Magic. How many times do we get the same Magic card and we're just like, I'm over this. I don't want to see this dude anymore. Get rid of him.
Why do they keep reprinting this guy?
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
not worth
right?
anything.
It's like they just changed. It's like I'm trying to think. There's been a couple of them. We just had one that just turned into a Planeswalker in Phyrexia, and then they killed him.
Not Jace.
No, not Jace. Freaking no one liked this guy. No one.
I think I'm going to Eldraine pre-release. Not next week, the week after.
I am excited for you because that sounds awesome. Planeswalker March Machines. Was it all March Machines? Was it all would be one? Am I already in the wrong thing? Ah, there. Luca.
Disney Luca?
No, Luca the Planeswalker for Magic. Like we got like 3 or 4 of those, and no one cared. Like they released that as like a special, like here's a special look at one of our brand new Planeswalkers, and they released Luca, and the entire community just went,
You're like,
oh,
that dude?
Like they Phyrexionized like a bunch of people that actually hurt our souls, and then Luca, and then we're like, oh,
This deck has a pot of greed in it. I was just looking at it quickly.
Awesome. But yeah, so like I think that's our biggest real concern with Lorcana is just like where do they go from here? Because it feels like they went with a bunch of the bigger names. Does say here's an idea question throw out that I'll do for you that we can slowly start to wrap up with. Does Lorcana, does Disney, does all that? Do they eventually just go to DreamWorks and say, hey?
Dude, I don't know, because they've stayed very separate for.
They have. They have, right? But like, How to Train Your Dragon would fit perfectly in with all this. Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda.
Puss in Boots. Right? A lot of these things would kind of fit right in with everything else. It's just that
Have you seen that new Puss in Boots movie?
No, but I want to.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Ooh.
I think. You have Netflix.
I was going to say, I might be watching it soon then, if that is true.
Someone gave you Netflix.
Someone did, don't know who, but I appreciate them. Love them. No, I've just been binge watching My Hero. So
I've been watching Friday Night Lights again. I'm on the final season.
I love that. I am almost on the final season, or I'm almost caught up with My Hero. Let's put it like that.
I don't even know where I am. I like went try to watch it a second time, and I got past where I was, but I don't remember where I am.
Yeah, I'm on episode like 110.
I'll be close to that.
Yeah, I've done that in like 2 weeks. Basically, I just have it on, and I'm just doing other stuff, and I just have it on.
Dub?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's what's up.
Oh yeah.
It was funny because I was watching Vinland Saga, and it got to halfway through the second season, which is kind of newer, right? And halfway through it, they didn't have any of the dub anymore, so it just went to Japanese.
Oh.
And it was all Japanese. And then like I watched 2 episodes, and then like I went back to it a couple days later, and then they had in that time period they had uploaded the dub.
Oh, really? That's funny. I
Yeah.
did that kind of with Rising of the Shield Hero. I watched Rising of the Shield Hero the first season in dub. I fell in love with the entire show. Just fell in love with everything about
Oh,
it.
I know how much you love.
Yeah.
Shield
So
Hero.
season
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
So season 2 came out, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm not waiting for the dub. I'm watching the sub. So I started watching the sub of it, and then about 5 episodes in, the dub released. So I went back and watched the dub, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, why does Now For Me sound weird?
Different
Why
guy.
does he just? Yeah, it was a different actor because the first voice actor left because he had like throat cancer or something like that. So
I
he
mean, you
left.
can't
So then the
can't
second,
help that.
yeah. So they hired a new guy, but of course my brain was like, is this because I was watching the sub and now I'm used to this? What is happening?
I had that when I was watching Hotel Transylvania 3 or 4. Is there 4 of them?
Something like
3
that.
of them.
Yeah.
Whatever the most recent one, I was watching it and I was like, dude, there's something off about this. I don't like it. Adam Sandler's not in it.
Oh,
They just replaced him with some dude, but everyone else is the same.
weird.
Actually, not even everyone else is the same. Like a lot of his friends aren't in it, but some of them are.
I
Like,
wonder.
you know,
I wonder if it was one of those things where they were like, the company wanted to do whoever they work with wanted to do one more or do another one,
and
and
he
they were
was
like, and they're like, no, we're good.
yes. So I was like, I stopped watching it. And I was like, I can't get past that. It's not
Yeah.
Adam Sandler. I'm like, it's a guy doing an Adam Sandler impression.
This is funny because they do that with a lot of the different TV shows as well. Like, the
They did
movies to
that
TV.
with
Was it Kung Fu?
Aladdin 1, 2, and 3,
I was
the
gonna say.
animated movies
I thought they did
Right?
with Kung Fu Panda as well. I think they did.
with the TV show.
Yes.
They use different voices, not
Yeah.
the movie though.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the movie Aladdin though,
Mm-hmm.
Genie, Robin Williams, right? Famously Robin Williams.
Robin. Yep.
Robin Williams 1, not Robin Williams in 2.
No.
Robin Williams in 3 though.
Yes. I think they
So-
tried to get him back for 2, and he's like, "Nah, I'm good." And then like the dude that did 2 was like trying to do a Robin Williams impression the entire time, and then I think Robin Williams was just like, "Yeah, how about we just don't do that ever again? I'm here."
I had gone a few dates with this girl, and we were at her apartment, and we were watching Aladdin 2, and I was like, dude, something's weird about this. It's like, why does Robin Williams sound so different? And it was literally, oh, he's not in this one. And they're like, why would you, how could you realize that? I was like,
How could you not realize it? It's Robin Williams.
boy, maybe there's not something wrong with me. Maybe it's you.
Maybe it really isn't me this time. All right, so Lorcana.
Lorcana.
Overall thoughts. Final thoughts overall with Lorcana.
I think it's a very solid game. It's very approachable. There's not a lot of nuance to it. It's straight up. Like once you sit down and explain it and see how it's done, it's pretty straightforward. The singing aspect is interesting to me because I still don't understand that. So you can do like singing where you exert a character and you use basically a character on your board to summon someone else instead of using ink. I don't really know how that works yet. But otherwise, I think it's solid. My girlfriend wants to play again. I think we're going to go over to my buddies and we're all going to play again. Actually, it made my buddy's partner want to try Magic because she's been like, I don't want to play Magic. When she played this, she's like, oh, I think I can maybe wrap my head around it now.
There we go. I mean, from what I've seen, from what you just showed me, from what I've seen on TikTok and all the different things, to me it looks, I feel like it's the typical Disney thing. It's approachable, it's simple, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
However, it's expensive, They're probably going to start doing the live action cards soon.
Yeah. It's expensive and it's not easily obtainable.
Yes, because right now, what I also learned was this is right. So the 18th was when this just came out, right? 18th.
Yeah.
That's when the local card games or local game shops could start selling them. That's because Disney set it up like that. Big places like Walmart, Target, GameStop can't sell until September 1st.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So it almost forces people to go to the local card shops.
Well, that's good. I mean, if you're going to take anything, that seems like a good thing. But I could be wrong. Yeah.
So that was the thing that I saw that I heard. Don't know how true it is, but I heard it from a guy on TikTok that's a card shop owner. So I don't know why he would lie to us. You know, but yeah, no, I think it looks like a solid game. It looks like a solid game, and like you're saying with the card effects, because it's a new game, it's like old school Magic, baby. They have the entire effect written out on the card, so it's very easy, very simple to start figuring out stuff because it just says it right there. Exert this, it does this. Done.
Yep. It's like it couldn't be, and it doesn't use like Magic. Even when they do explain new stuff, it's still like I feel like the word of the day whenever we're talking about this is nuance. You know, like there's like it's very straightforward. Where like you know how like the joke with Magic, you're like, what does this card do? It says it does what it's. You read it and it does what it says it does, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, this isn't very straightforward.
Yeah, exactly.
This is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it does what it says it does. It says 9 different things.
Yeah, and you're like, I don't know. Is that like just this turn? Is it for so? I didn't really get this with that except for the singing. I'm like the singing and two mechanics I don't understand: singing and then replenishing defense. Those are the two things I'm still like iffy on.
Okay. I mean, that's the.
I've only played one game.
I was gonna say yeah. So yeah. But yeah. So maybe for everyone out there that's listening to this right now, and you guys got to this final part, maybe I'll try to get some products and open it.
Okay.
For everyone.
We can play a game.
Yeah, we can do the thing.
We can do the thing.
But thank you all for stopping by and hanging out today with us. We really appreciate it. Let us know who your favorite Disney character is. Of course, I'm going with Stitch. Come on. Or Kronk. I actually like both. I'm going with Stitch and Kronk.
I do like Kronk, too.
Yes.
Kronk is a solid choice.
Yeah. But let us know who yours is down in the comments down below. And as always, depending on where you are, morning, afternoon, even night, stay out trouble, stay safe, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.